Philadelphia. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful edition of Bell and the Birdmen. It is our birthday month. We're so excited. We're going to give you money and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But, of course, to my left, the most beautiful man on this program, it is Vince Quinn. How are you, Vince?
I like how you've said that like 5 times in the last 2 months.
We're not going to stop now.
I'm gorgeous, folks. What can I say? Hide your wives and girlfriends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless they're in the presence of one Taylor Cordatis, then I would suggest maybe tremble lightly. Because I've known Taylor's, snatch some girls in his day. So, just saying. He doesn't need it now, but I'm just, Anyway.
Yeah. So, hi, John. Speaking of changes with partnerships.
Yes.
I feel like we've been, did you notice the defensive coordinator changes that were probably.
God, yes.
Yeah.
And I love, by the way, I would like to give a congratulations to the entire Eagles fan base because it seems like everyone went, we missed the Shane Steichen news somehow last year, and we're not missing shit this year. And right away, as soon as Jonathan Gannon perked his ears up during his press conference this week and said that Denard Wilson is my right-hand guy or whatever it is, we're like, oh, that's the guy. There he is. That's the next defensive coordinator. So there you go. And by the way, may I say, Vince Quinn, take a fucking bow.
Thank you, John.
Come on.
Thank you.
The 100 people audience we paid to come in here today. Like, you nailed this thing. We mentioned it, previewing training camp coming into this. We've had a few days now. They are way walking down 3-4 Avenue. Jordan Davis looks amazing, and we've got a new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, it's
4 days. We figured out a lot. This is great.
We have figured out a lot, and there's one thing I really want to figure out, and I'll probably get mad at you for it, but we're going to figure it out. But yeah, thinking about the whole Denard Wilson thing too, because think about this, right? The Eagles decided this whole offseason, they've got all this goddamn time, especially after the draft to now. They had a lot of time. On the day that everything's getting started, all right, let's announce all these additional changes and promotions.
Yeah.
And so one of them that they announced was, yes, Denard Wilson becomes your passing game coordinator. So if Jonathan Gannon is going to be getting promoted and going somewhere else, well, now Denard Wilson's your guy. So here's one thing I decided to do, John, because I asked myself the question once he got that promotion and the clear nod that he could be the next guy. I was like, who the fuck's Denard Wilson? Like, I just didn't know. I knew he existed, but
Cornerback, Washington.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Safety,
and that's it.
I think.
He was a corner for like a practice squad. You know, like he didn't even do anything back in 2004. So you're like, oh my God, this guy just hasn't, like, who is he and what has he done? Who's your daddy and what does he do? So I was looking into it a little bit, and like for people who are looking for the spark notes of this, he's with the Rams for a couple of years. That is the Greg Williams, Jeff Fisher era. My goodness, baby, some good times there. And then
God bless him.
Went over to the Jets and spent some time. The claim to fame now for Denard Wilson, by the way, potential future coordinator for the Eagles here, is he made Jamal Adams an all-pro player.
I knew that was coming.
That's the claim. Like, it's on his Wikipedia. It's in a couple of articles I read about him. Like, it's all over the place. So, like, guys, no, you won't believe it. He made Jamal Adams, this guy that's a complete failure in Seattle that they traded all these picks for. He made him the guy.
Listen, if he's the hoodwink of safeties like Andy Reid was the hoodwink of quarterbacks, I'm in. That's already positive for me. So,
imagine what he could have done with Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
But
we'll talk about Kyle Hamilton. We're going to talk about that son bitch.
Yeah, I got tagged a million times for that one. Thank you. So yeah, like he did all that stuff. He survived like in when the Jets, Todd Bowles got fired at that one point, and then Adam Gase took over. He stayed in that transition because Greg Williams was there.
Sorry. No wonder we haven't heard of him.
So yeah, I mean it's like it's not this illustrious oh my God kind of career. Like maybe the Jamal Adams thing is something, maybe it isn't. So I have no idea if he's any good, but they kind of slipped that under the radar at the start of training camp, and I thought it was important. But even more important, John, because this did get a little bit of attention, but I don't think it's really gotten enough.
Yeah.
Haason Reddick dropping into coverage is like...
Oh, no, it's getting attention.
Yeah, that's a crime. That is an absolute crime.
It's not a crime, and I'm going to tell you why, but I do have one more point on our friend Denard Wilson.
Sure.
As such as, we know this, as Shane Steichen is the right-hand man to Nick Sirianni, and what happened last year? He literally stopped calling the plays and handed it over to Shane. So let me just jog your memory here, Vince. You tell me if I'm on the right path.
Okay.
I think Denard Wilson's already calling plays. Has to be. Because if both sides of the ball were kind of a mess in terms of like execution, right? So Nick is going, okay, I'm not good yet at the execution of this. I can plan. That's basically what we were sold with what JG is in the first place. So he went from being upstairs in the booth, I think, to begin the beginning of the year, to then downstairs and huddled with everybody else, to then being on the opposite 20 of where the offense was at from the opposing offense, and viewing it that way. He did not look like a guy that's constantly in his mic calling the plays. And if you go back from those weeks when they started running the football and getting things in place, he was not calling plays. In fact, all of that communication between Nick Sirianni, I believe, and who the hell do you think he's talking to when he says it's always fucking him when he's talking about Derek Barnett going offside? He's not talking to the D-line coach. He's not talking to the guy that's executing plays. He's talking to Jonathan Gannon. Who was it? Who went offsides, John? It was Derek Barnett. It's always fucking him. I can just see that happening. There is no way Jonathan Gannon has been calling plays since week 7 of last season, and Wilson is also calling plays going into this season. There's no doubt about it. Bookmark this day, because I think that's what we also discovered too. There's no way that they're not doing both.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. And when you think about the Sirianni-Gannon relationship, yes, these are guys that very much believe in each other, have similar approaches to all this stuff. And if Sirianni, who took Gannon along for this ride, goes, yeah, man, I'm a head coach and managing all this stuff, it's different, it's harder. And Gannon's like, yeah, I want to do that. Well, I'm not going to be calling defensive plays if I'm the head coach. Maybe he's not.
Exactly.
Why does he have to be that guy? You know?
And he shouldn't, especially knowing that we think he's going to be a head coach next year and be like, well, that answered my question. Well, who the hell you're handing it off to? He already did. He probably already did.
Yeah, he probably did. So
they thought he was going to get the job. So, yes, of course they needed a signal caller ready to go. And, in fact, I believe Mike Caven pointed it out last offseason, going it would be somebody internal. They wouldn't go out while you were, like, swathing over Vic Fangio and Russell Wilson and so let's not remember that offseason, shall we?
Yeah, I'm happy to forget it, too.
Is that what Vic Fangio sounds like?
When he eats a can of beans, yes.
He sounds like an old motorboat.
I love the blitz.
And he was at Eagles practice, by the way. So, yeah, that was funny. Alternate realities. But, yeah, so with all that, then.
Yes. Let's get to the creme de la creme here.
Yeah, because Haason Reddick dropping
Kyle
into
Hamilton?
coverage is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
He is the creme de la creme, and I don't care.
Kyle Hamilton, let me just say that real quick. Kyle Hamilton getting lit up by a dude
my
who retired
God.
from the NFL and was in the USFL. Like,
okay.
And every Ravens fan one Ravens fan got into my mentions was, of course, like, oh, you think Kyle Hamilton's here to play press coverage? Yes, sometimes. You're going to be asked to do that against tight ends, but certainly not little slot fast guys, apparently.
Okay, and it's also it's training camp, and it's early in training camp, and I'm not. I see the tweets, people. I'm honored that you think of me. Honestly, it's a compliment. I appreciate it. Send me all the Kyle Hamilton hate. I can take it. Guy's a phenomenal player. I'm not backing down on it.
Kyle Hamilton cooked being trending on Twitter is just amazing.
Yes.
Like those 3 words specifically together.
Yeah. And he took it in stride. He even tweeted and was like, I'm getting roasted on this app right now. So he gets it. I'm not worried about
Unlike
that guy.
Jalen Reagor and Miles Sanders, so you can learn a lesson there, fellas.
Well, yeah, and we can talk about them too.
We will.
But
yeah, this whole Reddick thing. What is it? Why is your balls hurt that he's getting into the coverage again?
Yeah, that's not what he's good at. He doesn't want to do it. He has no interest in being a coverage linebacker.
Vince,
none.
You better get on the phone and you better talk to Jonathan Gannon right now, because let me just make sure I have this right.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon literally said he's great in coverage.
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon is wrong.
So he's lying.
No, he's wrong.
Okay.
I think he fully believes it when he says it, but he is fundamentally wrong. And everything about Haason Reddick's career tells you that.
Folks,
everything.
Can't remember who was like really hard up about this too and who reacted to it the most.
Everybody.
If he's going to do it at least once a game, and that's okay.
Once a game is fine, but
so that's all he's talking about.
That's
what you're getting poo-poo
right now.
about.
He's dropping into coverage regularly. Because
he's learning how to do it in training camp.
No. It's philosophy,
okay.
Right? You're setting the base things for what you want to do, and you're going to have the guys spend the most time practicing the things that they will most routinely do. If you're going to do it once in a while as a change-up to go, oh, yeah, we tricked you. he's backing up here and he's playing coverage again. Oh, the linebacker's back. Like, fine. I understand that. That is the life of a 3-4 end. Once in a while, he's going to have to do it. But if he thinks he's a legitimate coverage guy and wants to plan stuff around Reddick dropping back rather than charging somebody, it's wrong. I mean, and to get to this point where you just paid this guy.
You have never seen it once in your life, and you're like, that's wrong.
It's not what he does. He's a pass rusher. Is Von Miller, do you want to see him dropping back into coverage all the time? No.
Is this guy Von Miller? No. He's not even fucking J.J. Watt. He's not even close to, like, anything.
So?
He's
J.J. Watt was one of the greatest defenders that ever lived when he was at his peak.
Yeah, and like, this is not... Haason Reddick is a hybrid, a tweener. And if he's got a problem with what he's got to do, that's his problem, because he's not totally an edge rusher and he's not totally a linebacker. He's the thing, you know, and it's a hard concept for a lot of people to kind of like, what do I do with you? There is this large conversation about Miles Jack, and he's kind of around that class too. I was probably a part of him too. Wow, he's so athletic. Maybe he can be a safety, and like you can really have this masterful like this is what we are in terms of the NFL and where it's at with these tweener guys, and that's exactly what Haason Reddick is. He's a tweener. No. He's not a pure pass rusher.
No.
That's his best asset, and I agree.
By a mile.
But let's not act as if the man didn't play linebacker at all in college in this hybrid role where he is and does have range and is quick enough to cover people. Like, I'm assuming in the same way that you look at Nakobe Dean and you look at Haason Reddick, you're not going to use them the same way ever.
They better not.
And I wouldn't say Nakobe Dean's got to put his hand in the ground, but I also wouldn't be shocked one day if you just see it. Like, I don't know. He'll never put his hand in the ground. What am I saying? But I mean, like, stacked behind a different guy or whatever, you're going to see a ton of different looks all the time. Jonathan Gannon's goal is to make you confused now all of the time. We've heard Kaiser White's name being called out pretty much all training camp since it started, so I guess I'll take my early lumpings for that. He's still going to get cut. I mean, like, whatever. I just don't trust Howie Roseman to sign starting middle or outside linebackers. But like, it's going to come from a lot of different places. We're still stuck in this 4-3 mindset of like, oh my God, what is Brandon Graham doing here then? What is Josh Sweat doing here then? What is even Derek Barnett still doing here then? If they're completely transitioning into that, why do you have all these ends with Haason Reddick if that's what you think he can truly do as a pure pass rusher? He fucking can't. He can't. The moment that anybody or any good left or right tackle, wherever they line him up on, stiffs him, he needs room, clearance, and that's how he gets his sacks. He is not going to rip and roar time and rep over and over again. He needs help, and he's just as athletic as a Nakobe Dean. He's just a lot fucking bigger and can't cover as much ground, but still can cover ground.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
Having
he has
the
to be
physical
versatile.
ability to do it and being good at it are different things. Is he good at coverage? If he was, he would have been fine as an inside linebacker. He wasn't comfortable in the spacing and the positioning and the fighting against guards, and it didn't work.
Your outside linebacker needs to look more like a safety. He kind of does, but like not enough. That's what I mean. He'll never be a pure anything. That's my point. You're acting as if
he's a speed rusher.
I guess
that's what he is. That is what he's best at. Remember,
who's better, him or Micah Parsons?
Right now, Micah Parsons had 11 sacks and lined up and covered a little better.
Right,
yeah,
right.
So he's better.
Right, so that's what I mean.
But that's
the best version of Haason Reddick, and we don't even have anything close to that.
Because he's supposed to be more of a rusher. He is a speed rusher. You put him on the outside. The 3-4 does benefit him for that. That's where he wants to be, but he wants to do it as an edge rusher primarily. If it's a 50-50 split or a 70-30 or even an 80-20, I think it's a mistake. His job is to be out there on the field.
His hand's not going to be in the ground a lot either.
Well, no, but that's all up to him, and he had those choices even in Carolinas. The more I've seen it, he's had the opportunity to stand, put his hand down. He could make the call. They let him do that, and he was comfortable with that. But that's what he was comfortable doing. So let him stay where he is comfortable. I mean, remember, I was cracking all these jokes when they first signed him because they listed him as a linebacker.
Yeah.
And then they very quickly deleted that because he didn't like playing linebacker previously, So it was one of those little things where, like, what were the discussions they had with him about coverage when they signed him? Did they tell him he was primarily going to be an edge rusher? Is it just a distraction and they're getting him reps? Like, I don't know.
That might just be like a tag situation if he wants to get classified as, because I don't know what his contract situation is going to be. But, like, if you want to be classified as an edge rusher and not a linebacker, there's a big money gap in terms of that. I don't know if that factors into it, but I'm assuming that's mostly what that is.
Well, part of it's responsibilities, and it doesn't matter too much because he got the deal now,
Right,
but,
right.
like, the main thing is, and think about this taking it the next step further, because as a starter, he's going to be on the outside as an edge, and that's fine. But, like, nickel situations, for example. Because if Gannon thinks, which is basically a starting formation, like every team is a 4-3-3-4 nickel, whatever. The Eagles are all of those things. Will be all of those things. So is Haason Reddick going to be a nickel linebacker? Like, do they trust him?
Sometimes. You want to know why? Want to know why?
No.
Because you're still stuck in Jonathan Gannon's going to sit back with all these stupid fucking windows and let everybody attack the middle of the field and not beat them deep, and you're still assuming we're in this Jim Shorts world. If my slot, like Avonte Maddox, who's the baddest motherfucker on the planet, wants to slice in there and do a slot blitz, I need Haason Reddick to kick back and cover that guy for about a second and a half.
No, you don't.
Which he can do so to confuse the defense. That's what he means. In situations where you need to have different chess pieces and different ways of attacking, sometimes I'm going to need my slot guy to come in there and go bust somebody's ass up on the blind side or whatever it is. And for them to get spooked by that and then all of a sudden to see Haason Reddick covering and panic throw or whatever, that does happen all of the time, even if the sack doesn't come down as I almost knock over my liquid death, which is soothing my rant here. But, like, that's what you got to start thinking about, man. It's lining up all these chess pieces, and what if you're going, and I really don't know if Kaiser White can cover or not. It doesn't seem like he's the guy either. But I want to reintroduce Kayvon Wallace into this as well, because, like, that's where you have. No, what are you on about?
Oh, yeah, he stinks.
No, I would include Davion Taylor or whoever, whatever chess pieces are in all of these. So think of this as just bigger. You're shooting from all these different places. Maybe it's Haason. It's Haason 82% of the game, and all of a sudden, bang! It comes from the slot instead of him, and he's like. It's constantly this. Who's shooting and who's going back? Who's shooting and who's going back? They have the versatility to do a lot of that now. A lot of it is attacking. It is going to be attack.
Yes.
But if you're getting your ass kicked and you need to hold up, like, you need to throw different stuff at them. All the bullshit that we talk about how come Brady and Breeze and all the, like, when we used to talk about slicing them up and you can't blitz them, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, now you need to be able to do everything, and that's what he's trying to build
But
here.
that's why you have a whole complement of all these different guys, and they are athletes. Yes, they have athletes at linebacker right now. Like, you have N'Kobe Dean.
They're all not the same.
TJ Edwards, Davion Taylor. Yeah, I know, but those are the guys that are getting all those major reps right now. Those are your linebackers, and, like, those are your middle guys in the formation, a spot that Reddick didn't play.
I know where we can get to. Tell me who can cover better as a linebacker, and you just feel more comfortable if he said it.
Well, right now, I would rather give all those reps to N'Kobe Dean and let him be the guy. And when you're in nickel situations, let him ride. And if you're going to blitz him, you can do it out of that spot. But he is your coverage guy. He can be out there. He can hold his own, cover a tight end if you have to. Like, let him do all those things because you want him to be that guy. You have Haason Reddick in his prime. He wants to get better as a pass rusher. And if they're going to make it a major emphasis of his game rather than something he can do once in a while to give you a different look, that is a mistake. It's not the best way to use the guy that you just put a lot of money into in a brand new defense. Like Jordan Davis, for all the accounts of things that I'm hearing right now, he's in on early downs, which we talked about that last time. Figured he would get a lot of the early down reps. He would be starting there, and it's a question of how do they mix the guys around him. So they're doing that. That's totally okay. He's going to be your nose. He's not playing 3-4 end right now. Like they're saying, you're the nose, play the nose, do nose stuff, and learn all those things. That's where it should be the same thing with Reddick, even though he's a vet, because this is what he's going to do. He's primarily an edge rusher next to these guys. Like, just rush and keep growing, because that's what he's here for. He's here to get sacks.
You're not like, if you freak out over 1 to 2 snaps a game where, like, I agree, if it is not exotic looking when he's dropping back into coverage, yes, don't do that over and over again just to be exotic. If you're doing it to set up something, Yes,
Well,
I mean, like,
yes,
let me
but
just
regular reps
know-
is my problem.
Here's one of the greatest things. Do you remember one of the greatest moments outside of the Philly special in Super Bowl history ever happening? What's the first thing defensively that might come to your brain? And
Graham sack.
not the Eagles. Not the Eagles. There's one game in particular that is a monster of a game from from a guy that intercepted a ball, ran it back.
James Harrison.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, because over and over again, what would you expect James Harrison to cover once in your life? No, not for 1 second. But if Haason Reddick, I'm just replacing him and putting him there, and you're going, bang, I got you. I'm actually sitting in the short zone, and you expect me to be in your face, and now I'm going to run one 99 yards back. That's what I'm talking about. That's
I'm
exactly
fine with
calculated. That's all he's saying, Vince Quinn. Eagles Twitter, everybody calm the fuck down. You're going to have to do that in a 3-4 defense. It's what it does.
No, it's volume. The problem is volume. If he's dropping back all the time and doing it all the time, then it tends you to make you believe that he's going to do it all the time.
He's not going to do it all the
Well,
time.
and when I get assurance that he won't, I'll be fine.
Training camp, they have to go over the same play 90 times in one day in a 2-hour session sometimes. Everybody that does and let's just get right into the Miles Sanders stuff. Do you mind?
Sure.
First of all, let's quench our thirst and murder it at the same time with these wonderful Liquid Deaths, because, man, Miles, Jesus. Go to liquiddeath.com/bell to get free shipping on every case of Liquid Death that you order. It is the best mountain water made in a can. It's 16.9 ounces. I'm confused. Completely confused by a couple of things. One, why does Miles Sanders give a shit about what Zach Berman thinks? Number one. Zach Berman.
You mean you don't?
No, I'm saying Zach Berman. I love Zach Berman. Zach Berman is like the sweetest man alive. He's there to tell facts it is as pretty straightforward as a report as you can get. That's why we love Berman. If you are getting upset about Zach Berman saying you were second in the rotation on the first media day of camp, your head is in the wrong place, and it has been ever since. And the way we rip Jalen Reagor is the same way we should be ripping Miles Sanders, but for some magical reason, and I know the reason, it's the offensive line, he doesn't have to catch footballs. All he's got to do is run behind the best I keep saying it, the best offensive line in football. That's all he has to do, and he's so petrified. He is Carson Wentzing hard right now. He is terrified of what the whole give me my respect. Go fucking get it. Go get it. Shut us up. You're not good enough right now, Miles. I don't know what to say. Catch a few more balls better. Score a touchdown. Then we'll shut up. It's pretty easy. Now you're worrying about every little thing. Jalen Reagor, stop capping for this guy. No one at training camp has any idea what they're looking at. It has no impact whatsoever on you making the roster whatsoever. It is all about your ego. Fact. From the whole way, I don't know what I'm looking at training camp. I had no idea. I thought Jordan Mailata was a lost cause. Did I see one fucking tweet from him? No. Does Elliott Shore-Parks know what he's looking at? No. Did Les Bowen? No. Does Jeff McClain? No.
How dare you?
Does Jimmy Kempski? No. Does anyone? No. It's all just what we are not told what the drills are happening at the time. We don't know if it's supposed for the offense to win. We don't know if the defense is supposed to win. We're just observing stuff. It's just stuff. It doesn't fucking matter. Howie Roseman matters. Nick Sirianni matters. Your running back coach matters. Everything else matters. Why do you give a shit about what we say? It doesn't affect anything unless you want it to, and you want it to. And I think that was what Jason Kelsey's message, which was, by the way, got a small bone to pick with you, JC. JK. I understand completely what he meant. When the media thinks we're shit, we usually do good.
Yeah.
And when it's good, there's this part of me that also goes, yes, but there's this undying loyalty that a lot of Eagles players, not Jason, seek throughout with no booze, no anything. So which one is it? Do you want us to get hyped up or not? Because I will gladly turn the switch off and yell at you and nitpick if that's what makes you better. You tell me what to do. I thought it was being a loyal, pump you up, let's go, let's believe, let's do this shit. If you don't want to do that anymore, let me know. I'm happy to bash you all the time. Is that what they want? Is that what Jason's saying? Let's make bad narratives. Let's let Miles and Jalen Reagor keep reacting to these things. And like, what do you want? What does this team want, Vince Quinn? I don't fucking understand.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, it is so annoying when you get into stuff like this. Because, like, for Miles Sanders to be bent out of shape about it, they were at a practice where he took every single snap with the second team. So what else do you think? Like, it's okay. He was a second teamer today. That is a fact of the matter. The guy was a second team player for that day. Kenny Gainwell was with the ones and he was with the twos. That has not happened before. That was not a thing last year, you know? So, okay, things have changed a little bit. And if that bothers you, yeah, get over it. Like, I mean, think about the real world situations of these games anyway. He rotated last year. He rotated this year. It is what it is. Like, it's just the nature of the beast. So for him to be so bent out of shape about this, yeah, prove it. Like, the biggest thing for me is, and we've argued about this and you've laughed at me a lot, it's the way he played the last couple of weeks of the season where he hit the hole. He was a much better player. And there it is again. He was a much better player. Go watch it. He was a much better player. I don't know what to tell you. He was infinitely better.
Almost cost his team a couple of games.
He was the last couple of games specifically, he was way better. And if he's pissed off and that pissed off thing leads him to be focused enough to actually consistently hit the hole, he could be amazing this year. I mean, I look at Miles Sanders where he could finish this season as one of the top, 5 to 7 running backs in football if he played it right.
Probably could.
And last year, the biggest catalyst for him was Jordan Howard almost taking his job. Jordan Howard is not back here. Nobody's thought about it. Nobody said a word. I was right about Jordan Howard. You're welcome.
Were right.
So all that stuff came around. You know, like, can Miles Sanders be amazing and all-pro player this year? Maybe. Maybe he could also be so scared about this and so paranoid about all this other stuff that
that's why he's going to fail. That's why I'm betting on him not living up to whatever expectation he has for himself or whatever this respect thing that he's chasing. He's not going to get it. Just like Jalen Reagor didn't, because he's too worried about us, this, whatever. I keep telling you, this is not for you. This is for us. This is for us. It's not like... Right? Like, it is not for the players.
These things to Miles Sanders to be like, Miles, I hope you listen.
Yeah, I hope you listen and hear me criticize you or praise you or whatever. It's not whatever. We're talking about ball as best as we know it. And I know, like, we miss just as much as John Clark or everybody else does. But it doesn't, like, like, we started this whole August with training camp doesn't matter unless you're a player. Then apparently it does matter. Good Lord. Calm down. That's all I mean. It's Zach Berman.
And he was stating facts.
Yeah.
That was it. He just goes, he took all of his snaps with the second team. It's not like, I've been hearing all these reports that Miles Sanders, scumbag of the earth, has decided to not be a first team player. Like, it wasn't character
Miles
assassination.
Sanders, total piece of shit, was on the second team. Like,
come on, man.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah, like, if anything, why you just go to Sirianni and be like, dude, why was I not getting any first team reps? Like, that's a discussion.
Yeah.
You know, okay, sure.
Did he say the same thing they did to the press? Was just like, just rotation, boss, no big deal.
Yeah, and Sirianni was like, Sanders is our guy. So as far as it's concerned, everything is fine. Everything is normal. Nothing has changed.
The first day of training camp, he had to come out and say, Miles is still our guy because of Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Not because of anything else. Like, that tells me you're very worried. And guess what? That means once Kenny Gainwell gets off of this illness, COVID, I can't remember what I think he skipped practice. Maybe I have that wrong.
I don't know. I missed. Yeah, I don't know. But look, Kenny Gainwell's damn good. Okay, the guy's really good. He caught on last year too in the back half of the season.
Jalen Hurts.
He was a touchdown monster in the second half of the season, which he did in the goal line, by the way, a lot of times. And like, pay attention, Miles. So like, all of that stuff matters. And for Miles Sanders, it's like, it's so funny because you think about where the frustration comes from the fans. Because when you see that guy as the raw athlete, you go, holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, how many seasons, how many games, especially in those like first 2 years where he broke off a run for like 75 yards, and you go, holy shit, that guy's an athlete. And then you see him make all these terrible runs and decisions all the time. And you go, oh well, holy shit, he doesn't have the vision, you know. So that really matters, and people could see you as the top guy. He just hasn't shown it.
Are we talking about Ben Simmons or Miles Sanders?
Yes.
Sirianni, Duck Rivers, 3-pointers, the end zone.
These are guys. See? I like this. It is
It's right there.
It is right there. It's the same thing. It feels all the same.
We're already here.
We're already here. Taylor's right. I don't know how you don't see it. I don't know how
and there's the like fan divided, like, no, he's good. It's like, he doesn't get in the end zone. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No.
Well, there's a few people that joined our Discord too that were kind of like right in the middle of that. So appreciate that, and make sure to be a part of the Discord, especially when there's training camp tweets going on, because Turbo Mike has been like the Discord reporter in there, and I don't even go to Twitter anymore because he's like, bang, bang, bang. Here's this. There's screenshots. It's great. You just get to sit back, kick back, and enjoy the show, essentially. It's awesome.
Yeah, Turbo Mike is a legend in the Discord. Shout out to Turbo Mike. And also, by the way, John, we're going to run a little contest.
Oh, my God, are we going to run a contest? Folks, if you haven't heard by now, it is our birthday month, and we are going to go super, super wild for all of August because as we get our party hats ready, it's time to let you know. First of all, congratulations to our good friend Jason F. And I'm saying F because I forgot your last name. It's like Fuller, except I think there's an F in there. Fulfer. Fulfer. I think it is Fulfer. Jason Fulfer
there you go.
Was our big winner for the Philly Sports Trips all-inclusive giveaway trip to the Commanders-Eagles game week 3. Excited to be down there. There's a lot more to come with that, too. So this month we're going, well, it's our birthday. We can't just give away one thing. So we're going to give away a ton of things, with the grand prize being a $500 Visa gift card on August 31st is in honor of our birthday, which is officially on August 26th. Every Thursday this month of the podcast, we're just going to give something away, from Liquid Death, from Awesome Sauce, from all of our sponsors, including, I believe, someone is sending us a birthday present today that we cannot wait to tell you about. So excited for that. But just a whole bunch of things that we're going to give away. And the only thing you have to do is go and subscribe to our YouTube page right now. And if you're watching this on our YouTube page, it's very simple. Subscribe, notifications on, and we will exactly
bell for the bell.
Bell for the
right.
bell. Good call, Taylor. Excellent. I'm going to use that from now on. And we're going to pick someone at random every Thursday for every prize, and then you're automatically included for the grand prize. So even if you win something, you still have a chance to win the $500 gift card. And if you don't win anything, you still have a chance to win the $500 gift card every Thursday this week with giving stuff away. And I'm explaining this poorly again, Vince Quinn.
Well,
so there we
it's
go.
fine. Those are simple. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's on our website. If you're just checking out the podcast, bellandthebirdmen.com, you can go right to our YouTube page from there. If you subscribe, we will give you $500 or a whole bunch of other shit. We're giving it all away, so all you have to do is subscribe to enter. So that's one contest.
Yes,
the
indeed.
other contest, which will be in the Discord, 53-man roster contest, Johnny boy. Let's go.
Ring that bell, baby.
Yeah, so I made a full sheet. Well, it's very simple. All you're going to do is go to our Discord. We have a channel in the Discord that is labeled 53-man roster contest. You go there, download the form, you fill it out, email it back to us. And by the way, I've not told either of you this, John or Taylor.
Very excited.
There is an extra point that you can earn for the contest.
Which is?
All I'll say is X marks the spot. So
I have no idea what that means.
Exactly. So
makes it more intriguing.
You can check it out in the Discord. That's where you can go download the form. We're only taking submissions for that until Friday.
Yes.
So you got until Friday to fill it out. And then we're going to give out the prize when the Eagles have their first roster ready a week before their first game. The date is on the form. So go check that out as well.
Yeah, so that's a big one. Go get on that right away and just subscribe to YouTube and win free stuff. That's basically all we're saying here. Get on board. And thanks to Nanks, I think, who recommended the 53-man roster game. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe it was him.
There's a lot of work to be done, so I would say get all your depth charts ready. Start reading some more in-depth camp reports, and I would say, what are we giving away for that, by the way? Who could say? Definitely a shirt.
Yeah, definitely a shirt.
Oh, and a prize pack. Let's give away a
Yeah.
prize pack for that from Awesome Sauce, Liquid Death, Righteous Felon, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We will do that and include a T-shirt in that for the winner. And maybe we'll come up with some fun stuff. So sponsors, get on the horn if you like this, because our people need some more stuff.
That's right. We got a lot of stuff to give away. It's a birthday. There needs to be presents. And by the way, 'cause with all this YouTube stuff, we have one other little present.
Which is
A whole other bonus episode that
Yes.
is live on our YouTube channel. Me, John, Tom Brady, and all the conspiracies around this new release. So we're going to get into all that nonsense. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel. It's the only place we're posting it. If you're dying for it, we will put it on the podcast feed, but we'd like you to go to YouTube, subscribe. You got to convince Taylor. You got it. Taylor is the one.
I am the ruler of this. So.
That's right. He is the gatekeeper for the feed. You must appease him. And otherwise, yeah, you got to go to YouTube. But again, that's your chance to get $500. So
Yeah, it is.
That's all coming up. John, I'm glad I got to yell at you a little bit today. And I hope that people realize you're wrong.
I am too, and they're going to realize you're wronger, which is totally the proper English. And I just wanted to kind of wrap up with this, because there is something that's brewing. I'm a little concerned. Put me on the little concerned circle. We mentioned Nakobe Dean, right?
Yeah.
Judging by most people's tweets, most people's reports, not exactly standing out early in camp. I would put myself in a little concerned service area.
Yeah.
Is that a little concerning to you?
No.
Taylor's shaking his head no.
Absolutely
concerned?
not.
No?
No.
I think it's a little concerning.
We can, yeah, I think that sounds like a Thursday.
Yeah, it's a Thursday
I
thought.
want to flesh out those feelings.
I by the time you probably hear or see this, he's probably had like 12 sacks, so it'll probably be a moot point. But I would say it's a little concerning. It's gonna, to me, Nakobe Dean only really works if Jonathan Gannon's defense works. So I think he's like a linchpin for that. And by the way, I just want to note this too as we're going along in training camp. Everyone kind of goes by this like, it was a good day, it was a bad day crap. And one of the big questions that has come out so far, and this happens every training camp, is that the defense that's good that's causing Jalen Hurts to cause all these interceptions, Gardner Minshew, or is it that the offense is just bad? Here's how you can determine if your team is good or has a chance or not coming out of training camp.
Can you give the rest a take like that?
Yeah. If one side of the ball is dominating, that is bad news Bears. Bad news Bears. Little up, little down from both sides, great news Bears. So as long as the offense is kicking the shit out of the defense is kicking shit out of the offense, there's a chance. But if it's one-sided, you're fucked. That's pretty much it. So as long as it's not like the middle of August and Darius Slay has like 1,000 interceptions, I think it's okay.
All right.
By the way. So
Well, that's good to
calm
know.
down.
I'm okay with that.
Also, Jalen Reagor's still going to make this team, and that's going to be hilarious.
Ew.
Can we touch on the tweet?
Oh, please. I mean,
Well, Taylor, yeah.
what is
Is AJ Brown's impact going to be more on the field or off the field? Because it seems like everybody's ready to fire off whenever they want, and it's because of AJ Brown.
yes, and like I do whatever you feel you want to do. This doesn't help you. It doesn't help anything. It gets your so here is what
It helps us.
it helps. Yeah, I'll keep talking
It
about you
helps
all
us.
the time. This is great, fantastic. I would love to see where all the drama comes from, but John Clark just simply tweets Jalen Reagor with a drop, and several times once again getting out-muscled and outmaneuvered for a ball with a DB deflecting it. Bro, y'all got to stop this cap-ass shit. Who's he capping for? The DB? I hate
I don't
Jalen
know.
Reagor crew. Like we're
The constant John Clark click machine.
Oh,
I get
yeah.
because he's the hot take click artist in this city.
Yeah.
He's the guy. We need to rally up the pitchforks and
Jalen.
storm John Clark.
Jalen. He lives at an airport.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything, man.
He's just doing the basic reporting, man. Like, relax.
The basics of like you couldn't get like he's a touch from like where Jeff Seversky used to be. Like again, Zach Berman, John Clark, Derek Gunn.
Yeah.
What
Like,
the fuck?
if they were fighting like some Marcus Hayes piece,
Yeah,
I get it.
go for it.
Go-
Absolutely.
Yell
I'll
at
kick my
Marcus
legs
Hayes.
up.
Half of his
Absolutely.
takes, I think, stink.
Yeah.
Whatever I read, usually I'm like, yeah, this kind of stinks. So if they want to yell at him, that's fine. But to go after the basic guys that are just doing the brick and mortar reporting, if you will, like, come on,
And AJ, here's the guys you should go after. McLean, fine.
how dare you?
It always
Oh, a McLean,
Legend.
AJ Brown.
Oh, please.
Oh.
No, that'll happen. That'll happen. That'll happen this year. That's a lock.
yeah. Why, why'd you drop that ball or something?
Oh God, it's gonna be so good.
I can't wait. We've just barely touched the surface on training camp, and there's already like a billion fights that are going to happen. So very excited for that. Very excited to share your birthday with us. For Taylor Cradatis and Vince Quinn, I'm John Barchard, and we will see you Thursday. And go to YouTube to for the Brady stuff because
That's right.
this birthday hat's going to turn into a tinfoil hat. Okay, bye.